Hello, and welcome to the Portfolio tutorial for PDS Trader. The Portfolio section of the PDS Trader allows you to create custom risk graphs. This feature can be used to show projections based on your current positions, as well as a sandbox for adding hypothetical hedges to see how the risk graph projections are affected. To access the portfolio, scroll to the upper right of the PDS Trader from any page and click Portfolios. From the main Portfolios page, you can see portfolios you have already created or create a new one. There are three options for existing portfolios: View, Duplicate, and Delete. Selecting View will allow you to see the portfolio and make changes to it. Selecting Duplicate will create a copy of the portfolio, and selecting Delete will simply delete the portfolio. To begin, select Create New Portfolio and give the portfolio a title. For this, I will be using Example Portfolio. And if you click Portfolio Notes, you will also be able to fill in notes to help you remember what your portfolio was about. Once the portfolio is created, let's add a risk graph. Start by pulling up an option chain. For this example, I will use SPY. Note that calls are on the left, puts are on the right. Find the expiration and strike you would like and select. For this example, I will sell a 12.16 call and buy a 12.21 call. Buy or sell as many legs as you would like, then scroll to the top of the portfolio to see the risk graph and leg details. Hovering over a plot point on the chart will reveal the specific leg-by-leg breakdown of the projected profit and loss. This will be based on the Black-Scholes pricing model. Note that this is the combined risk graph. To view the performance of individual legs, select the options below the graph. Leg 1, for example, or leg 2. To the right of the risk graph is a section that allows you to provide some custom details. You can change the x-axis range here. You can also change the plot point increments if you would like. This controls the frequency of plot points along the x-axis. Pay special attention to the exit date option. By default, all legs in a trade are exited on the same date as the earliest expiration in the trade. In this example, the earliest expiration in the trade is the December 16th option. You can actually change this to December 15th to see the projections. Values in this area must be properly formatted. Look above the exit date box to see the required format, and must be any date between the current day and the expiration of the earliest leg of the trade. All fields in the legs section are adjustable. For example, I can change sell to buy in leg 1, and the risk graph will reflect those changes. I can also change the strike price. However, changing the strike price does not update the current price or volatility values for that option. If you adjust the strike or expiration of a leg, be sure to hit the refresh option to fetch the current values of those options. You will note that the risk graph did not change until I clicked refresh. Now let's change it back to the way it was before, and you will notice that the risk graph does not change other than going from buy to sell until I hit update leg price. Now you can see the update is reflected. The next feature is called trade groups, and I'm going to add a third leg to demonstrate this feature. Trade groups is useful for seeing potential hedges or how a certain leg affects the overall trade more or less than it should. We strongly recommend that you become acquainted with trade groups. We start by clicking the Add New Group button, and then we add a couple of legs to this group by clicking the plus sign. Now we can see Group 1's projected P&L is reflected in the risk graph. This line can be hidden or viewable on the chart by clicking the Group button at the bottom of the risk graph. To delete a leg from a group, first select the group, then remove it directly from the leg itself by pushing the minus symbol. You can also delete an entire group by clicking the trash can next to the group name. It will give you a pop-up to be sure that this is what you want to do. Click yes, please delete it, and the group will be deleted. The Black-Scholes model is only one of several models of price projections. There are certain events that make option prices seem inflated. After the event occurs, the extrinsic value is sucked out of the option and the risk graph projections may change dramatically. It is because of this that we created the stress test, which allows you to determine the percentage of extrinsic value you will assume to be left in the final projected value. For a more thorough guide on this subject, click the question mark icon next to stress test. To use the stress test, simply drag the desired lever to the percentage point you want. Note that the master level volume will control and override all the others if it is used. Changing the lever to negative 100% means that your projected future value includes no extrinsic value. However, changing the lever to plus 100% means that your projected future values will have twice as much extrinsic value as originally projected. We strongly recommend viewing the detailed explanation by clicking the question mark in the stress test section. Please note that portfolio changes are not saved by default. You must hit the save button near the top of the page in order to save your progress. Now that it has been saved, I can click the Portfolios tab at the top of the page and see my list of saved portfolios. Once again, on this page, you will be able to either view one of your portfolios, duplicate a portfolio, this is good for testing and hypothesizing, or simply delete portfolios. If you have any questions, please contact our support staff at support@paydaystocks.com. or simply go to paydaystocks.com during New York Stock Exchange hours and click Live Chat. Thank you.